Greetings, everyone. This is Arletta coming live and direct from Arletta Unleashed. Who are y'all? What's up? I don't know about the rest of y'all, but anyone been experiencing time collapsing? And your whole perception of reality seems really, really warped? It's, warped. Or at least it's different than how it used to be. How about we just leave it at that? I'm looking inside this camera, and I don't know if it's because the light is brighter in here than normal or not. I'm looking a little pale, so it's time to get some sun, which I think. Yeah, I haven't gotten my summer suntan yet, so it's time to bring out the golden brown. So, looks like I may be headed out to LA to work on a project, and it's time to go sit by the water and just sleep. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, tonight's topic, it'll emerge, but I do know what I want to focus on. And remember that book I was telling you about like 2 days ago, my last post? Well, there was a different aspect in the same book. I think the title of the book was Jump at the Sun, that the author had explored. And she, not only was she talking about the legacy of slavery as far as the dynamics and how it affected black people in general and black women in particular's experiences as far as different aspects of motherhood and how that plays out in our lives. But it also talks about black relationships, romantic relationships, but not just romantic relationships. That implies to me a limited description, but male-female relationships or interaction between masculine and feminine energy within the black experience. And there was this, what was so crazy about this book was this author captured so much of different aspects of my experience. And towards the end of the book, I can't tell you what particular scene this was, but towards the end of the book, there's one particular line that really struck me where the husband of the main character told his wife, he's like, I always knew that you never needed me for anything. But I thought that you did need our children, or you did need the kids. And what struck me, or what hit home for me, was the first part of that. I always knew that you didn't need me for anything. And I remember years ago, right when my whole marriage was just falling apart, that was one of the things that my husband used to tell me, my ex, that Arletta, you don't need me for anything. What good am I in your life? Why should I even be around? I feel useless, essentially. And although I told him, and this makes lots of sense, even if I act that way or can't receive anything from it, doesn't mean that I don't need you. But if you can't receive it from somebody or can't acknowledge in yourself that you need them, then they can't be available to you. So, that being said, I have looked at, like, within the last 2 days, especially after reading that book, as far as just what relationships I've been having with masculine energy in my life at this particular time. And I can say that the first thing that I had to do, and this is a huge part of this unleashment process, and that's been to tap into and unleash the masculine energy within myself, where I support myself, I protect myself, I have the faith and the trust, and I allow the universe to provide an even more extensive support. And I trust in that, and I can rely on that and depend on that. And I am safe and I'm protected in that. And so as a consequence, I could actually attract masculine energy that does the same. And so I've been shifting in that, and it's really interesting how it's been showing up in my life. I had went out with my girlfriend last week, and we went to not one but two reggae clubs and shut both of them clubs down. Oh, we had a good time. Anyway, and so I had met this brother when I was out, and he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You look like one of them sisters who expect to be spoiled." And I just looked at him. And in the past, I would have denied that because it was an ego thing. I have never allowed myself to be spoiled. And it was also a vulnerability thing, too, which goes back to this interesting dynamic, male female dynamic, with in a black experience, which I'll mention in a second. But I just paused and I was like, yeah, you're right. I am one of those kind of females that you need to spoil. And I was so excited and so happy. I'm like, spoil me, baby. Because up to now, I've never experienced that. I've never experienced that. I've never been spoiled by my father. I've never allowed myself to be spoiled by any man, really. And except for very limited cases or examples. And those are always situations and scenarios where I made sure it wasn't a situation where it's a possibility of relationship. And but now he said I look like someone that needed to be spoiled, and he couldn't have said better words. And so I'm like, yay, yes, this unleashment is working. It's working. It's working. Okay, so in the book, back to the book, it explores one of the biggest challenges in black male-female interaction, and that is the fact that this slavery legacy that we've passed along, and you can see it in all three generations of the female characters in this book, is that um, none of them trust men, black men in particular. Pretty much all their experiences have not been negative. In fact, the main character is married to a wonderful brother who's loving, who's supportive, who's strong, who handles his responsibility, who's absolutely crazy about her, who takes care of his kids. He's professional, he's intelligent. I mean, he's just a good man and a good brother. But she still can't receive that. And she thinks something's wrong with him, that he actually wants to have intimate communication and connection with her, and really just wants to take care of her and do what he can to support her and her dreams and her ambitions, and to be as best of a husband and a father as he can. And she kind of rejects him at every turn and doesn't even really know why. And once again, it's that unconscious programming, brainwashing, genetic memory bullshit that be fucking us up. And I recognize that in all black women that I know, and including myself. And when it really became clear to me, I was like, no, we not passing this on. This is not going past me. Whatever interaction I have, influence I have on upcoming generations, this bullshit is not coming past me. So I'm conscious of it. So I think I'm finally in the energy where I'm receiving support and protection and love, and I feel safe, and I allow myself to express my own masculine energy. So as a consequence, I could attract that to me, my life, and my experience as well. Even as a former independent black woman, I can take care of myself. That's never the question, but that's not the end. That's not the end. That's just the beginning. It's just the starting point.